Hey guys, this is Teryn from the Girlz Inc. studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for joining me today. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, then I invite you to. Please do. I would love to have you. This is a new venture for me, and so I've got lots of permanent makeup tutorials and videos and education all in the works and coming soon. And I think you're really going to enjoy them and get a lot out of them. So thank you again for joining me. Today's video and tutorial is going to be about how to properly shake your pigment bottles. And believe it or not, there are technicians and artists out there that are not properly shaking their pigment bottle. And you might be one of them. And if you are, don't feel bad because you're not alone. And the reason I know this is because I'm a distributor for LI Pigments. So we get these emails and messages sometimes, and they're frustrated. You know, our customers are frustrated, and we're getting them often enough where I felt I wanted to do a public announcement on how to properly shake your pigment bottles. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to teach you how to properly shake your pigment bottles. So first, let's demonstrate what technicians are doing wrong and causing frustration among other things. So here's a bottle of pigment, and they're picking up their bottle of pigment and they're shaking, right? They shake their bottle of pigment and take off the cap, pour it into their pigment cup, recap, put it away till next time. Next time they get their bottle of pigment, they shake with the cap on, they shake, take the cap off, pour it into their pigment cup, recap, put it away till next time. Well, what is that doing? Why is that causing issues and frustration? Well, because they're shaking with the cap on, they're making a mess. You can see right here, look at all that pigment up into the cap. As you shake the bottle, it's going up into the cap and accumulating up in the cap. And then when you put your cap back on your pigment bottle, it's getting all over your tip and all around the rim here, and eventually it starts leaking down and it gets all over your label and it causes a mess. It starts to harden and get gunky. It can end up clogging your tip, right? So your pigments don't pour out properly, and it wastes pigment. A lot of your pigments are going up into the cap, not into your pigment cup. So it causes a mess, it can clog your tip, and it wastes pigment, which ultimately wastes money, right? We don't want anything to do with that. So that is the improper way to shake your pigment caps. Now let's show you the right way. All right, here's your bottle of pigment. What we're going to do, the very first thing we do is we're going to take off the cap. Now, with a gloved finger, you can use a gloved finger, which is usually what I do, or you can use a paper towel. You can put a paper towel right over the tip. You can use a cotton pad, a tissue, a piece of gauze, something, you know, very clean like that, or simple as a gloved finger. Just don't use your naked finger, okay? We want to keep this area very clean. So put your gloved finger on the tip and you're going to shake. And you're going to shake it for a solid 30 seconds. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, but let's finish this step first. So shake your pigments really good. You'll remove your finger. You'll grab your bottle, but don't grab your bottle with the finger that you had on the tip, because then you'll end up getting a little bit of pigment on your label, and you'll get a little mess going on your label, and I hate that. I'm a Virgo, so I'm very particular. I like nice, clean bottles. So grab the bottle with your other fingers, pour into your pigment cup, right? When you're done pouring, take a paper towel or tissue and clean off the tip really good. And you can see that you do get a little bit. And keep that really clean, recap it, put it away for next time. Next time, get your pigment bottle, take the cap off, don't shake yet, take the cap off, put a gloved finger or a paper towel or tissue or a gauze or cotton pad I'm using a gloved finger in this demonstration. Shake your bottle for a good 30 seconds. Remove the finger, grab with your other clean fingers, right? Not this finger, because you don't want to get pigment on your label. Pour into your pigment cap. Grab your paper towel or tissue. Clean off the tip. And recap nice and tight until next time. Okay? Perfect. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's important to shake for 30 seconds. Now, that's the proper way to shake because you can see nothing up into the tip. The cap up here stays nice and clean. You don't get any here on the tip or around the rim. Nothing's going to drip down on your label. The tip is not going to clog on you, and you don't waste any pigment. All your pigment's going into your pigment cap cup here, not the cap. So it keeps your bottles very clean, very pristine, no fuss, no muss, no waste, nothing. It's fantastic. Now the reason it's really important to shake for 30 seconds is because you got to mix all that pigment in the bottle with the liquid. Sterile water, glycerin, and alcohol are the three liquefiers that LI uses in the aqua line. So you got to mix all that. When manufacturers make pigments, they use colorants. 5, 6, 7 colorants, sometimes more. They get all these colorants and they're in powder form and they mix them to create one beautiful shade. Well, again, it's in powder form, so they got to liquefy that. So common liquefiers, like I said, are sterile water, glycerin, alcohol. Other things are used too sometimes, but those are 3 common. And hence, that makes our bottle of pigment, liquid pigment. So once your bottle has sat for a little while, then the colorant, the pigment load, the concentration of color has settled to the bottom of your pigment bottle. So you've got to shake for 30 seconds to make sure all that concentrated pigment at the bottom of the bottle is coming up and churning and mixing with all the liquefiers. So your bottle of pigment is fully concentrated, and that's what we want and that's what we need to get optimum healed results. I'm all about optimum healed results, right? I want my work healing with as much color as possible and doing as little touch-up work as needed. Now, if you're only shaking for like 5 or 10 seconds, which a lot of people probably do without even thinking about it, then you're only getting some of that concentrated pigment load up and churning, right? And if you're doing that, and only shaking for 5 or 10 seconds, even 15 seconds, then when you pour into your pigment cap, you're pouring a weaker pigment into your pigment cap, hence you're tattooing, doing the procedure with weaker pigment, because some of that concentrated pigment load is still in the lower part of the bottle. You didn't shake it long enough to really churn it and mix it really good and make the entire bottle fully concentrated and a really good pigment load. And again, that's what we want and that's what we need. So super important to shake for 30 seconds to make sure that what you're pouring in your pigment cap is a highly concentrated pigment, and that's what you're doing your procedure with, right? We don't want to be doing our procedures with a weaker version of what we could be using, okay? Great. So that is my tutorial on properly shaking your pigments, keeping your pigment bottle clean, no waste, and making sure that you're doing your procedures with a fully concentrated bottle of pigment. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions or anything like that, of course, please leave your comments and questions. I love answering them, and I will see you next time. Thank you.